I want to talk about this a little bit. This is how do you fund the fund? Okay, how do you fund it? And I know for most people, when you say, well, we'll get 10 million to fund it, you're like, oh, where does 10 million come from? Now, understand, I'm going to talk about the National Community Development System of Strategic Initiatives that has raised over $1.6 billion in the last 30 years for nonprofits throughout the U.S. They specialize in strategic initiatives, and they have a cookie-cutter approach to doing it that works. And I'm privy to this cookie-cutter approach, and I'm more than willing to share and talk about how it is. I'm going to give you an outline of it right now. The system goes like this. The first thing is they need a sponsor. Usually a sponsor will be a chamber of commerce or an economic development group that's looking to raise a capital campaign, to raise money for economic development. They are the sponsors. They pay the fee. So in this case, if it's NCDS, they would pay $20,000 for the feasibility analysis, and they would pay about $25,000 per month for a capital for the capital campaign that can run anywhere between 9 to 12 months, maybe longer sometimes. But for the funds are raised over a 3-year period with investments into the fund. So what we would do first is find a sponsor. So if within your region, if there's someone, if you like this plan, you can share it and say, listen, we want to sponsor, we want to test this, we want to find out whether or not there is money here, whether or not we can raise $10 million for a capital campaign. Now, most nonprofits don't do this. Most nonprofits go, hey, wouldn't it be nice to have money? And they start their capital campaign. Big mistake. You never want to do that. You probably heard of the 80-20 rule. It goes something like this: that 80% of the funds are donated by 20% of the people. 80% of the work is done by 20% of your workforce. The 80-20 rule is prevalent in pretty much every industry and pretty much in every aspect of life. 80% is done by 20%. So what we want to do is, when we do the feasibility analysis, is go and interview the 100 top investors via a question. And this is not a pledge. What this is to find out their feelings and their opinions and their anxieties, and ultimately the most important part is to create that relationship. The person doing the feasibility is the person that you're going to want raising the money, because 20 minutes, 30-minute interview is very important for the relationship building side, when you're going to go back to that person and leverage them up 20%, 50% on the initial figure that they gave in the feasibility. Because you need to ask and get a figure. If this campaign happens, how much would you invest? And they say, well, 20,000. Well, Frank, I need you at 80,000. Oh, I don't think that's possible. Well, what would it take to get to 80,000? I mean, that sort of thing, and that's part of the feasibility. Now, finding out who Frank wants to be involved in the capital campaign is also important. So there's a process. It's cookie cutter, and then once you know that the money is there, then you do a capital campaign and you raise it. So this is pretty straightforward. It's not, if we don't do this, there's the economy right now. And I tell you what, that bottle right there are startups, right? Those, and really this fund can be the rain that changes the complete environment in your community by allowing basically inventors and entrepreneurs the opportunity to develop their ideas and have those ideas protected by the fund. And if that happens, you're going to see tremendous innovation in your region and ultimately make a difference. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be death and decay. So what's your next step? What I encourage you, share it. Talk about it. I put up these 5 videos for you to, watch and listen and to debate. Tell me I'm completely idiot. I don't know. I mean, join the groups. Join the fan site. Join the LinkedIn group. And let's discuss it and try to make a difference in the years to come. And let's provide a vehicle that every lean startup needs.